All right. Hello. Sorry, starting a little bit late today. The coffee was not done yet, so you know how I am. Coffee has to be ready. Anyway, some surprising news from earlier this morning. The Aussie did actually raise their interest rate up a little bit, which is kind of surprising. Not seeing massive amounts of movement because why that would have been Aussie strength, and you're seeing the Aussie up 47. It's kind of basically almost a leader minus the dollar yen right there. Um, we are seeing again a little bit of you know, kind of pandering back and forth. Couple different weird headlines out there. Um, Again, some Chinese data, BOJ talking about inflationary targets, and there's a one up here about Japan's yen is weakening again, prompting talks for another intervention. Although everything is pulling back now in preparation for it. Um, Statements from Low last night talking about this one. Let's just click on it right here. The higher interest rates and cost of living pressures is leading to substantial slowing in household spending. Again, kind of what we're seeing here. The board remains alert to the risk that expectations of ongoing high inflation contribute to larger increases in both prices and wages. So, again, understanding that yes, we acknowledge that there are problems and not everybody's going to be happy about this. There's things that need to be fixed. Um, Inflation is still peaked, but it's still too high, right? So it's great that they have peaked here. I remember the ECB yesterday said they don't have signs that it has peaked yet. Um, Oops. Just wait. I don't know why I was like that. And some further tightening monetary policy may be required, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's like, hmm. So again, this is that entrenched inflation, like we heard about originally, right? Um, Entrenched inflation was always kind of one of those things that we needed to watch out for. That they were warning how bad it could actually potentially be, right? And that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing it not just here, but kind of everywhere else. So again, not really what you wanted to see, but yeah, surprise. And again, I'm definitely surprised because they had already paused before. I was like, okay, they're probably good. Some of their data has not been great. So, um, yeah, hikes that provide confidence CPI will return to its target. It's like, wow, you're not confident now, leaving rates this high, it would go back. So, yeah, yeah. So, thinking about that, it's kind of like, what does that do to the US? And right now, looking at the 24-hour pip change, you can see the Aussie is now in the lead, up 45. But 9, 18, 40, and again, yen play, 25, 19, 12, 19 over here. A lot of sleepers out there, right? A lot of sleepers. Um, Again, it's one of those days where there's not a whole lot of news going on. We had the Aussie stuff last night, and then obviously tonight. I mean, does it really matter if the GDP on a quarterly basis is positive or negative at this point? I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess they could miss. It could be lower than point 0.3, and that would help retrace back all the gains that it got overnight. But we're already seeing a little bit of retracement on that one. So, yeah, yeah, very interesting kind of 24 hours. Now, tomorrow, um, we do have the Canadian rate statement as well as overnight hike. Question is, are we in line for a surprise? Right? Could we get a surprise jump now from the BOC? I mean, if Aussie's done it and it's too high, right? What does the inflation story look like now for Canada? So, it adds another new element. And again, without anything else in there, it's kind of like, what else could we potentially see? Right? What else could be coming in there? So yeah, that's kind of the only thing we got. That and oil. And again, the oil story is continuing to again, oil kind of coming back again. That $1 million or the million barrel kind of halt didn't change too much. Excuse me. I think more people are worried about what the lasting effects are going to be. So, looks like we got this a little while ago. World Bank increases global growth forecast to 2.1. So again, that's not bad. On greater than expected resilience in major economies, right? Let's see, growth. U.S. growth forecast at point 0.8 versus 1.6 in January. So U.S. forecast is not looking as good. In January, citing a drag on tighter. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So again, lack of any real news. It's kind of like, whew, how do we take a breather here? What's happening next? Right. Let me see what this one actually. I didn't get a chance to read this one. On Sunday, another move that helps battle inflation. Roll hit the Fed. So already said it would cut. Yeah. Okay. I love the comments. United States is living well beyond their means, and no one seems to care. Deficit spending is inflationary and overspending can't be reduced. You laugh at the dreams. Yep. Contains 500 in new spending and tax cuts that boost new energy and yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, I did see something. It's not in here because again they're kind of anti talking about it. Um, I did see something. The Gambit time when yeah, it's funny. A lot of these things, like you see a lot of these like nasty stories about bricks. Like, yep, not working. Nope, nope, nope. Um, it's kind of funny. It's like, you know. I guess Saudi Arabia is going to fund it now. So it's weird. Like people are like, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never happen, and that's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. Oh, here you go. Hackers fake Putin TV speech of attack on Russia. Kremlin says. Well, okay, that's interesting, right? Fake news. We got hackers doing it now. So yeah, so not an action packed 24 hours. Tomorrow morning may provide something in there. We should be able to kind of find trends and resetting right now, so we should be able to see a lot of reversions back to where the mean is. VIX obviously is it's up a little bit, 0.14, slightly in there, right? Yesterday provided a little bit. We're kind of again, you could say, hey, listen, there's buyers, and again, remember, no warehouse full of VIX right now. It's kind of stabilizing. 14.75 is definitely low from what we've seen, right? We've had some of these spikes and got it in the 16 range, and we were kind of basing for a while between 21 and like 15. But prior to that, I mean, we were up, here in March, we were back up into the 31s, right? Into the 30s. So yeah, being all the way down here at 14.75 is that's very low. And again, part of it is because of the news today, but it's like, holy crap, that's really, really low compared to what we've seen. The dollar increasing a little bit, and you can see from the European session, we had a level here that we said, hey, listen, there's a nice little bounce. 104 will be a problem, and there's a nice little area right here, and it hit here, and it's hit a few times, right? 1, 2, 3, and ended up breaking, and then it came back up and used it again, and then it used it again over here. You know, we had this kind of marked off for kind of like a Harry Potter-ish type trade here. And again, I just adjusted it more on the recent term. There was kind of the old one, and it's slightly off, right? Um, European session, right? Important to bring this out. Your 3 o'clock window, 2 o'clock window is right there. So it's the nothing but goes straight up. And where we're sitting right now, you can say, hey, listen, right there. To me, kind of looks like an area of sellers. And we're hitting it. We're trying to force through it. And the question is, based on everything we've seen and heard, could this be, a decent turning spot, right? I think the reality of this one is maybe yes, right? So, yeah, interesting spot, right? U.S. markets open. We're getting a little bit of a rally, but could this turn and die really, really quickly? Um, I mean, if history tells us anything, yeah, this is an area, this 104.30 to 50 range. Yeah, there's definitely some selling coming in here. And, with lack of any data to drive this forward, is there more positive data that will come out or is there more negative data? And I feel like there's, probably more negative-ish data. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm sure you have at this point. You've heard it. The SEC is now suing Binance. I guess the Binance stock dropped like 15% this morning already. Talking about how they inflated volumes, and it's like, oh my god, another crypto firm that I don't want to say tweaked, but tweaked the data, in not so great light. So yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Right now, indices 3 red, 1 green. Again, I think there's more and more talk of recession. So again, there's some negativity out there, but there's not really a lot of factors to really drive this higher right now. On the good front, though, commodities all down right now, right? You were seeing oil and natural gas. Now, natural gas is only down 0.22. Let's not get super excited. It's not down like 5% like it could be. But oil, oil's back. It's down 1.6. It's back at that 70 range. And again, I think 70 is really going to be kind of the main kind of linchpin for a while. Are we above 70, below 70? A million barrel cut is not really, you heard that there was going to be a cut, and you think, okay, this is going to be every time. This is going to be what we get. It was just a one-time cut. I don't know. I feel like it was more of like a warning shot than anything else to kind of see what kind of buck they could put into the market. And we'll see. We'll see. But again, coming back down, 71 is great. It's not 65. I think I'd much rather like it at 65. Gold down just a smidge, right? 1958. about where it should be. 23.45 in silver. It's down just a little bit as well, down right below that 23.50 number we mentioned as well as being popular. So we'll see, what we can do with it. Aussie, again, um, really kind of came back down. It's funny. We were talking about being up here for news, and it kind of pushed back down and then kind of held. And then an hour and a half before that news, it kind of pushed back down into a basing level. And you can see it here, right? You can see that there was a level sitting right here, and we've kind of pulled back, and it was sitting there and then kind of pulled up. And then all of a sudden, what did it do right before the news? It shot back down on that level. So there was actually a news spike in this one. It's kind of funny. Um, you know, the pips don't lie here, right? This is a nice move. And again, this was a surprise move. It moved 73 pips, but what did it do? It rallied up about 2 hours ahead of time, and then it's been an hour and a half going down before that news came out, and then boom, took off, right? It took off. Um, so, yeah, what we're seeing now is we're seeing a retrace. I would have to agree in this one. I would expect this one to come down and probably end up probably back down here. Yeah, it raised it, but again, does that mean no one else is going to raise it? Nah. I mean, it's a parabolic move, surprise reason, pure gut check of why it went higher. So we look for that to turn over, and you can see we had a red, but this green went above, so it wasn't a time to sell. We had a red, we had a green, we had a red. You're like, okay, there's a confirmation of a trend change, and it pushed down, and then came up a little bit, and then it's pushing back down again. With the U.S. session open right now, again, we tend to see U.S. strength roll back in the U.S. Session. We know that it has rallied back up and it is at a reversal level. Question is now, do we have enough room in here? And again, nice move. There's about 30 pips in there. There's probably like a Harry Potter trade in here, probably somewhere in here, right? And it would look like something like this, 1 to 3 ish, right around there. That's a 1 to 307. There's a 10 pip zone. There's probably something in there. I mean, again, obviously it's retracing back. There's been plenty of entries that you could have got in. There was an entry at Pier you could be in, and again, this was a decent one as well. Right there, taking this green candle, and again, this drop, the base, the push back down again with a little test. That was probably a nice little trade you could have taken. It would be actually over on this side, so it would be about that far in right now. Um, I like this one down. I know that the dollar is at a level where it's turning, but I think if we get dollar weakness and Aussie weakness, I think right now after this big spike, I feel like the Aussie weakness would probably be a little bit more. We'll see. I just feel that with everybody trying to combat inflation, I don't feel like gold is going to give it the extra oomph, right? It's going to be like half calf, not full calf. Um, so I think this one comes back down again, but it's a little bit late to enter the trade unless you were looking for this kind of new kind of confirmation of a Harry Potter down somewhere down in here. Um, but we're not sitting there yet. Aussie yen. All right, so Aussie yen did kind of the same thing that the Aussie dollar did. It kind of came down and it did the same thing. It found a base. We knew that this 23 level was kind of something. We were talking about it pushing up. It wasn't at 23, so it was kind of skirting along here. There was a zone, and again, I'll just move this one because it's here. It's easy to grab, right? That's kind of what we're looking at, and you can see it how it perfectly brackets this off. It did the same thing. It dropped right back down again in time for that news to come out, and then boom, exploded and ran right into that level. So 1, 2, 3. We did not expect this to hold again. Number 4 blew right through it. So again, remember the 4 rule is a big thing. This one came up, and again, if you're going long, this would have been a target first, not an entry, and it did. It smashed into it and kind of started whipping back and forth again, and we're there kind of now. If anything, I'll add a new kind of draw on this one. I'd say we're kind of sitting there right here, and again, this is more Aussie weakness. We've driven higher. We're hearing things about the yen over there. How much is this? The risk on this one? It's about 20, so it's a little more. This has a daily ATR of 93, a 4-hour ATR of 38 or 39 because that's 38.9. Um, yeah, I mean, it's definitely in a spot. It's definitely in a spot. We were already calling for it. It breached it. It put a new one in. What does this zone look like originally? Here, it's been here a few times. Mm, yeah, so that's what it looks like it's going off of. It's finding those buyers. Hmm. Crazy part about this one, and we mentioned a couple days ago, this one, propping another talk of intervention worth billions of US dollars. You know how we're talking. We mentioned this last week that listen, we're getting really, really high. Remember when 130, 135 was a big deal? 140, it's like, woo, that's huge. And now finally CNBC, who listens to the program as well, obviously, is they're coming out with, reports or we talked about it Friday. They're publishing the article today, so it's not my article. But yeah, it's funny how they're mentioning it. We're sitting up here with lots of areas of sellers around 93, 94. And this would be a big intervention. Now again, Aussie obviously raised. We had that parabolic move higher, but any edge strength that rolls back into the market in anticipation for this. We are looking for sellers up here. Question is, do we wait till 2317? Sorry, not 23, 93. 9317. Hmm. Let's see what hit data. Hmm. Hmm. I'd like to find an entry here. I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger with this. I'd like to see again, give me a red, green, red confirmation. This red, green, red actually came back up and is testing that same level, right? And that's the problem when the red, green, red is all the way this far. If it's not inside the zone, when it gets this far out, it's kind of like, ooh, do I pull the trigger here? A little bit more dangerous when it's that far out of zone. If you can get a red, green, red, and again, that's why we go to small time frames to get it. Um, I do like a red in here. I do like a red in here, but I'm wondering if we wait till it goes just a little bit higher. And my fear is, I guess it's not really fear, but it's kind of like, does it turn here and do we miss the entry? Right? It's about 17 pips. Ugh, that's a hard one. I'd like to see, let's see. Yeah, see, we don't have it yet. Red, green, red did not close above, and we're printing green again. So we don't really have the confirmation yet. Um, I'd like to see a confirmation entry in this one. I think this one is in probably the next 2 hours ish. This one will be a decent drop. Ideally, I'd like it to come up to that 93.17. I think that's the best trade setup on this one. I'll draw it up there right now. But again, unfortunately, it may turn before then. That's the one thing that kind of the one fear I have about this is, that it's going to turn too early. It'll just go a little bit sooner than what we're looking for. So, but look, I mean, I love the setup. I love the tag up here because all it has to do is come down and just play with the buyers right here, and boom, it's at 1 to 3. That's 1 to 3 down, 18 for 55. Um, yeah, so watch that one. Euro dollar. We drew 107.25, talking about the nice little base here. You can see that that's where we started this morning. Your 3 o'clock candle is right there. Okay. Pretty easy one. We mentioned it being a decent candle. This is close enough to 78, so I'm going to take that one off. You can take this one and run it this way if you really wanted to. Doesn't matter, but it was a 50% retracement level and a 107. Right? We were down here yesterday morning. I think we actually mentioned that as being a 50% retracement, but we like this level right here, the drop, the base, and the pullback. And again, there's your entry. This one's obviously out, so this is just kind of a review. And again, if you're liking those trades, 1 to 3 is right there. And again, you can see it bounced right off of where it should have on that target, and we're at the bottom side. So right now we're looking for 106.45. I think that's a target for today. It's got about another 29 pips to run down to it. So about a 4-hour ATR down. Will we hit that and reverse out of it? Potentially. Potentially. Again, we know that the dollar index is up in areas where we had sellers in the past. So could it move another 26 to run into there and then turn and flip? Yeah, potentially. I would say that it's there. Yeah, I mean it's there. I mean right now, unfortunately, we're way too far out. And funny enough, look at that. Look at that nice little pushback, right? Boom, 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 right back down again. But that was the trade we talked about yesterday with it. Again, nice little grind forward. Um, yeah. So right now, again, look for a confirmation bounce off this side. Oops. Woo-hoo, it's not Christmas. Right there. So yeah, if you grab that one, easy. Euro pound. I guess the trade's officially out now. We just hit it actually. Um, so we ended up tagging it at 10 yesterday, and we talked about this as a level. Again, there's your level of basing. Is it the best? No. And again, we hit it once at 7:30, came up and grabbed it, and then we said, hey, it's going to be slow. It'll push back down, and it did. So it took 24. It took 24 hours, but you just hit 27 pips. That was a 9 for 27. That was right at the 10:30 reversal time frame. Right. There's our clock. There's our 10:30 time. Right. So small, easy trade. Like I said, really not much movement. This one, I think all the movement in this one, yeah, it's down 20 pips. Pretty much all the movement is from where we were yesterday, right? Drop, base, and just slow, slow, slow. So again, you like slow and steady tortoise trading. There you go. There's your out. So again, that's not too bad. So you got what 28 there, another 28 here. So you're 50 over 50 pips so far. So not too bad in just Euro pairs. Euro yen. Again, here's another one from yesterday. That was yesterday morning. We were out already from yesterday, and it's funny. It pulled back. I'll just slide this over to there. Interestingly enough, check this one out. And again, this is more for Ryan because I know Ryan watches these. Ryan, look, there's your level of basing. There's your confirmation touch right there, and there's your overnight push. I've been working on this with Ryan, looking for confirmation-based zones. And there you go. Nice little base drop. And again, strong push down. And we talked about coming all the way back down, right, to this level, this old alert. And there you go. We bounced right off of it. So we did miss the bottom section down here, which is kind of frustrating. So we're looking for it to push all the way down. It didn't. So that's where we're sitting right now with it. This is kind of actually, I guess it would have to be all the way down there. Let's see. I'm going to draw a more near term. Let's see. Do we have something in here? Yeah, the 61.8 level. Problem with the 61.8 is we've hit here, we've hit here, we've hit here. I do like how we have, look, I do like this. I do like this, right? This, and this, right? Actually, I guess I can do, well, it's over here. Right? Is here, and it was there, right? And then it had this big drop, right? So that's what it looked like with the dot, dot, dot down. So we would expect to see more people sitting in there. Here's the thing. When it was over here, right, it was like a 50% retracement. Now that we've pushed down, it just became a 61.8. So there were some people that would not have traded the 50, but they'll be looking to trade the 61.8. Hold on 1 second. My wife's like, "Hey, I just passed the truck at the place." So that means the intake manifold stuff is done. So step one or stage one of the truck repair is finished. If it's back to if it's back to the other place, which is not bad, unless it hasn't gone yet. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if they would have brought it there, they would have left it there, not brought it there and then brought it back. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe that part is done. The expensive part, the part that I'm like really unhappy with, and the people online are like, just buy a kit, do it yourself. I'm like, I have no technical skills. I don't have a garage. My driveway's not even flat. Right? My driveway's angled, and there's a boat in it that I can't move because the truck is not working. They're like, oh yeah, it'll cost you $300. I'm like, well, they're giving me a much higher price tag than that. They're also replacing 3 other things. But yeah, people online are funny. They're like, just do this and just do it yourself. I did a kit and I did it. I'm like, I know nothing about exhaust manifolds and bolts that are broken off in the block. Like they're like, "Oh, just heat the bolt up and then you screw it out and just pull it out yourself." I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea." Me who never took a shop class, I know the most basic things about cars. You want me to drill out sheared bolts that are in the engine compartment inside of a little tiny space with no tools. Yep. Yeah, that sounds like a really bright idea for me. Like, yeah, just do it yourself. It's like, okay, sure. Yeah. I think there's probably one more shot off of this one. If we can bring this one back up into an area selling and all the other yen pairs are still holding, I think this could be a decent one. And again, could this coincide with some type of intervention? Sure. 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 So yeah, look for this one as a potential sell. Do I have the style, the border? Yeah, we can say that. Hey, look, we're gonna make that real ugly and talk about. Hey, listen, there's a potential sell in that area, right? Little red on the outside. Look for potential sell off that one. Yeah, it's all right. Pound dollar. Looks like this morning again. We talked about this one yesterday. That same kind of push, looking at that 50% retracement level. The zone should be there. You can see we came up. We pushed it literally to the brink at 1 o'clock, and then came back at the European Open. Again, it needed the zone in there. This one obviously is already out as well. Let's move this 1 to 3. And again, this is another one in the overnight. 1 to 3 is actually only sitting right there, which is that base level. So again, another easy 30 pips on that one. I think we talked about this yesterday. This was a 10 for 30 and how much I like that one. But again, another overnight trade. So we're already up 50. Here's another 30. You're up 80 pips now at this point. Nice little pullback from the 1 to 3 as well. Our overall target to the downside is 123.86 or 82, right? We'll hit down there. The question is, do we reverse out of that one? I think it's slow. So this is unfortunately not a great zone over here to use. There was a base and there is a confirmation in there. Um, you do have a level sitting right here. It is tested, but I'm going to say right now, I don't love this level. I do like the fact that it's at 23.5, but the fact that it was like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then confirmed and then took off, it's not as fresh as I would like. I would like something a little bit cleaner where maybe there's one hit of the whole thing. Not, this is a lot, right? This is a lot. So, um, that's kind of my one word of warning, kind of caution to it. It's like, just be careful. And remember, this is one here. I just deleted it, but remember yesterday we're like, look, there's basing here. We've just punched into it. It's like, oh god, this is where the reversal would happen. It didn't. It did go to the conservative side and it went higher. So that's where you would have gotten to that one at the farther zone. And again, the risk with the farther zone is you're going to get less trade entries, but they will be better trade setups overall. So, but you will miss more trades that work. So this one worked out just fine. So right now, I think again, here's profit target 1. I think we can put profit target 2 down here. Actually, I'll change this to yellow because I do think there is a potential for some type of a reversal down here, right? But is it a very strong one? Not really, but could you use it for something like this? Balance of trade? Potentially, right? Could it be a reversal type area? Sure, it could be, and we're well within range of that one right now. So as this one pulls down, it's about 46 pips away. It's got a daily ATR of 92. We know that this was the European Open. So if we go one day till tomorrow at this time, that's 92 pips. That's one daily ATR, let's see. Um, would be there till 3 o'clock in the morning, which is 100 pips. So one daily ATR puts us right inside of this zone. If we can hold down at this zone and start to reverse, that could also be again, more of a dollar weakness based trade, a little pound strength coming in. So it's there. I think we start setting up for news, but again, it was just a trade in the overnight. There's nothing we can do with it right now as it's approaching those two targets. Pound yen. Funny enough, pound yen is going higher. We've mentioned this level, and again, look, we based in it again. We used it. We based in it again. So the market likes it a lot. Did it come down and grab this one? It did. Yeah, we said this was a dangerous one. It had pushed it all the way to the brink. It ended up using it again at 5:30. Again, it looks like the European market opened, drove it right in, and took off. So, I think this one starts to have some problems. You can see that obviously there's basing there. If we run fibs from high to low, you can see it's right at the 50% level. Again, I just did it roughly. There's dead on. You can see it's literally right at the top of the candle. So, um, as far as this guy goes, be cautious with it. 173.66. It is a level. Again, it's another one of these yen based pairs that is driving up towards selling zones where we could see yen strength coming in. Kind of the same thing. Aussie yen had it, Euro yen had it, pound yen has the same thing. It's been there. It's confirmed that it had a nice push off of it. And again, it is a 50%. And interesting enough, it is almost completely bracketed by the 50 and 61. Remember, people will use the 50 and then the stop loss is a break of the 61. So it kind of makes sense there. And again, in a pushback down. The zone on that one is, let's see, probably a little bit. Yeah, it's about 23 pips. So just, just kind of watch it, right? Just watch out for that one. Dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD. Dollar CAD isn't exactly in play. You can see yesterday at 10 o'clock, we pushed right back down. We grabbed the bottom side of that thing at 12:30. What did we do? We bounced again. We came back up and grabbed the top side, and then we pushed down and finally broke through. And again, one, two, three. Started the base above at four and finally broke through. Top side, one, two, and you could say two and three here if you want four. We're basing off of it now, which is awesome. I love this. This is my favorite part of this one is the fact that we went through. It's like, yes, let me know when this one comes through. Hello. There it is. Man, I'm telling you, there's some delay in this browser. Anyway, make that alert live. Again, I love the fact that it's bracing back through. Again, anything big, we should get some type of an alert coming through. I'm good with that one. We can move this over one back towards the balance of trade. And you can see, obviously, the Canadian news did drive it up a little bit higher. And we are reversing back down, and we'll see. We'll see now. Let's see if we can get this to come down to here. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would say look for it to come back down again. I'm looking for a bounce, and do I want to bounce off that one? Maybe, maybe we look for that one here. Where's it gonna move? 23. Hmm. Yeah, it's oof. There's a reversal in there. Um, Man, I like the Harry Potter. I like to break the 134.60. Look for the pop through the top. I think we could potentially reverse off of this one to give us a new bottom. It's been there a lot though. Especially if oil deteriorates more. Yeah, right now, my favorite part of this one is literally when we finally break through 134.60. I think we can get a bounce here. I'm wondering if we get it later today. Is really what I'm wondering. I don't think it. I think it hits here and takes off before we hit the snooze. Oh, this was the Ivy. Yeah. Ooh, economic came in much worse. Yes, that's where we're getting dollar weakness. Although, you know, hmm. This just goes to show you this is red news. And you're like, why is there CAD strength? Some of it's because the dollar news is really worse. What's the difference between 56 and 53.5? Not that much, right? Again, in these situations, anything above 50 indicates expansion. So it's still expanding. It's a little bit lower, but nothing has really changed. It's still expanding. It did drop a little bit, just a tiny bit. With this optimism right here, they expected to be very positive, and it was basically dead on. It was the same as it was last time. The optimism didn't change at all. So a little bit different of a reading there. So yeah, I would expect this to kind of push down and then kind of turn and rotate. If you wanted to take a line off of this one, look for a little confirmation. It's not a big zone. It's only about 12 pips. So, um, yeah, yeah. Dollar Swiss. Um, so we talked about bouncing off this 90.46. We ended up not getting the bounce here. It actually came in earlier this morning and gave us the reversal here. It did push back up. We were looking for a more immediate touch and go. And we said, hey, listen, watch it. It's going to be kind of more of a zone based trade. And it did. It started the base here and then took off. And it looks like the Europeans actually were the reason why it went. If you look, the low right there is at 3 o'clock. And we've been doing nothing but going higher since that time. We're right about up. We got a little bit more to go on this one. I would say where we are with this, we're not seeing the same dollar weakness in there. there is a zone here, but it's extremely choppy before it pushed back down again. We talked about it yesterday. I think really right now, if I need to bracket this one off, I'm bracketing there. And right now, the fact that this one is hit, I think we're going to bracket there and we're going to bracket here on the downside and say, look, these are the two levels that we're looking for. Um, could there be, again, I said over here, we'll see if we can get there in the next, by 2 o'clock today. That's where we said we would be. Sometimes I just draw the lines and I'm off by like my timing is off from where I think it'll go. And we'll see if 2 o'clock we can get there. Yeah, I think this is really. I think these are our two brackets right now. Our top and bottom brackets are 91.36 and 90.50. I'm sorry, 90.26. So, yeah, we're right in the middle. So, yeah, it goes higher. Ugh. Ugh. I'd love to do something with that, but it's like, yeah, I'm about to set this one out. I got to set this one out. I like both those two levels. I think there could potentially be a reversal there. What we're seeing on other pairs, but it's just not there yet. I don't know. Look up yen. Mm, we didn't get down on our profit target. We're looking for a little bit more of a push. It ended up coming here, and I was going to use that one, but it's like, yeah, it's kind of target one. We'll see. We'll see if we can get it all the way down. And it did. It bounced there. Um, hmm. Looks like this is the same level that we have. How much we gotta move? Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? 37. So we know Aussie yen, we have an area of selling. Euro yen, we have an area of selling. Pound yen, area of selling. Looks like here's the equivalent. 12. Hmm. Yeah, I like that one. Kind of the same thing. We're between two hard places. I think this one is pretty decent, only because, again, all the yen pairs, Aussie, Euro, Pound, all same thing. They all got to move about a 4 hour ATR higher before we run into an area of confirmed sellers. Is that my favorite level in the world? No, I like the higher level up, although this is not the best. This one was literally pushed a little bit farther. It is the best one we have, and it is confirmed level. It dropped at base, and it fought, and then boom, just collapsed. Tend to be, again, a big imbalance in price, hence why this thing dropped to the downside. So, yeah, look for that one. Um, yeah, look, stocks in limbo as Aussie hike provides rate reminder. Yeah, it's kind of like, well, crap, the Aussie did it. Ugh, we got to do it too, right? Everybody's doing it. We don't want to miss out. What is this? So much fun stuff in here. All right, let's go to commodities. All right, so U.S. session, oil strength coming back in the market. Of course, of course, of course. Looks like we ended up pushing through, and it's funny. We kind of Harry Pottered off of that one. I'm good with this. I like this. I like this. I'm good. Um, that's fine. We mentioned, hey, listen, there's a potential level in that one off that big push. We're gonna pull it now. We're gonna pull this off. I'm gonna see on this direction of what we got. Um, hmm. hmm. This basing is right in the middle of nowhere. There's a little hiccup at 50, but I feel like this is where the zone would come in. I feel like that's going to be the trade setup right now to the top side. I'm going to suck this back in a second so it's a little bit easier to read. I know it's a little bit hard. Um, again, you guys know how much I hate busy charts, but I'm going to suck this one back to here just so I kind of have a basis for it. Something along those lines. Yeah, I would say that those are the two. That's what we're dealing with right now. I'll pull that back just so it's easier to see a little bit. And again, we mentioned this yesterday. It was a 61.8. We knew that could be a big deal, and it was right at 5 o'clock. I wish this was at a zone. Yeah, so I'd say these are the two trade setups, both oil shorts. One at 72.70 down to 71.57, and the other one at 69.93 down to 68.95. Again, Harry Potter breakdown here. Again, this is a play on number 70. Um, Again, that $70 is going to be a big deal, and it is a Harry Potter based trade. So we love this one down here. This is a great one here. And this is just the retracement. It is between the 50 and 61.8. There is a level of basing. People will be using that. Some will take it at 50. Some will be looking for the 61. And again, I think the 61.8 may get front run because we have this drop. A little bit of basing action in there, and then a nice little pop to the downside. So yeah, we're into those. Yeah, those are my two plays for oil. Natural gas. All right, so we said natural gas potentially was going to have some issues at 2:30. We knew that that was there. It looks like at about 12:30, we came up and grabbed, and it went to. It looks like it popped up to 231. I said 230. And then we pushed and had a big drive down, and then again, U.S. market open, and we drove back up again. It's funny. Natural gas trades lower as mild temperatures continue in most states, and then all of a sudden, since that article came out, boy, straight back up again. Um, let's see. Can we use that level up top? No, it's a confirmation off of this, which again, I don't like that zone. I think we talked about this one yesterday too, not being great. Yeah, we would have been looking here. Yeah, I think we talked about this one, but the red is the high, not the green. We like the green, not the red high, but it's actually confirmed now. So I'd say, you know, look for the potential here, right? 231.50. 231.50. Yeah, I'd say look for that one. It's like I said, it's not a fib level as far as the bigger scale of things. It's probably a 78.6 if I took this most recent low to high. That's a little bit beyond it. But just because we have the confirmation, I look for the reversal. I think natural gas is going to be a little bit difficult to play right now. So, just use some warning. Wait, what? Breaking news? What? I love breaking news. My phone's like breaking news, but it's not always important, and it wasn't important this time. All right, gold. Gold. We marked this area off yesterday. You can see gold's having a lot of problems over there looking for a pullback. I do like this. I love how we kind of have a shelf here right now, right? We have a shelf. We hit it again. We kind of broke through that shelf. A lot of run to the downside again. We had that nice little Harry Potter trade there before. Looks like we have another one setting up here. And again, we're looking for a near-term base in this one. I currently don't have it. The closest base that we have is again kind of on the top side, sitting all the way up here. Ooh, excuse me, that one came out of nowhere. I apologize for that. Um, could that go back up? We could. We're seeing a little bit of play right now. Let's see. What is the dollar doing? Again, dollar dropping down. So we're seeing gold come back up again, right? But I think when we finally restore this trend, I think we'll have a nice little trade over here. Again, I don't know where this one's going to come in yet. Probably somewhere in there. Oops. Right? Probably somewhere in here ish. But I like the racetrack on this one. It's a 1 to 3.6, 1 to 3 years right there. I love that. I think this is a great setup on this one. I don't have an exact figure. I want to see where the near term basing is. We should get it this afternoon, and this could be an overnight trade. Um, Again, coming in with maybe low speaking, right? Maybe low speaking. Maybe it comes in with the New Zealand price index. Maybe. Um, maybe quarterly results with this one. I don't know. US dollar native trade balance. Look at this. Getting higher. Getting higher. So yeah, I'd like it. I don't have a setup. I need a near term base on this one. I like this one short. When it finally breaks through 95. You know, right there. 1954.75. Silver. It's funny, silver's all the way down. God. So yeah. Not a bad candle. Again, a lot of wicks in here, but there's some big candles, right? The body, the colors make more sense, and all of a sudden you get silver. You're like, oh god, right? Every candle's like back and forth, right? God, look at this. Ugh. Oh, ugly. This one is so ugly. It's ugly, as Jin would say. Um, Again, we're sitting in the middle of the range. We talked about 23.91 and 23, and we're still sitting in the middle. We were sitting right here yesterday. So really not a whole lot of movement. It is down just because of obviously the spike, but overall, yeah, just not don't love much. Like I said, if I had my choice on this one, I'd like it to rally back up again, get up to that 23.90 so I can sell it back down again. But selling around this 250 is not necessarily a bad deal either. Um, Curious to see how pinches this is. Yeah, it's starting to get real pinched. Yeah. You can see, look, they're almost going sideways at this point, right? They expanded for the in session, and then they'll pop back down again. So, yeah. So overall, fundamentally, short silver. Is there a trade setup in here? No, not really. Let's see what we got here. The old Apple, a little rough day yesterday, and then it'll push down and rallying back up again, trying to make itself whole again. Um, yeah, we'll see if it gets back up to where it opens. I'm gonna put it kind of flat. Tesla, nice Tesla candle, huge spike, and again deteriorating. Um, Tesla was in the news this morning. Um, yeah, Tesla was in the news this morning talking about their luxury sales, and it's all SUV driven, which makes sense. Let's see what we got here. VIX, again, no real news. So again, this kind of makes sense. Dollar obviously pulling back again should help the stock market a little bit. Now it looks like ES is a little tiny bit positive. We had 2 and 2 right now. Let's see what we had off the setup. I'll tell you right now, probably nothing. Yeah, I mean sideways. There's no trend. Nine. Yeah, there's no nothing. Again, 1, 2, 3. There's nothing here. Again, no testing on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Even if I make this gigantic, let's see. Can I make it? Can I make it? Again, you could say like, oh, there's the test. It's like, yeah, but there's all this, right? You could say that there was the original, right? There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, there's five. It's like, not really. Downside could just say that there was something over here. 1, 2, 3. This is four. Not really. So again, not enough overnight movement in this one to really set the sucker up. Um, I'd say right now with the pushes down, there's a little bit of buyers coming in at 42.58. And again, obviously selling coming in at 4,300. But you know, right now, let's see, is this a 50%? Yeah, it's a 61. Look, I'd say watch out for this little zone right there. That could be a problem. So yeah, but no opening print, just too flat, nothing in there. NQ, what do we have here? 915, 930 ish. Kind of a big zone, right? You could say that there was something, right? The wick is down to there, and again, there's your touch. There's your touch at 7, but again, you would have missed it on this side. The next one would be kind of there. There's a 930 touch, although that's pretty risky. That'd have been a pretty risky entry on there. Again, short, but pretty risky, right? Pretty risky. And we're pulling up to it now. Could we get a 1030 reversal back down? Potentially. Potentially. Um, I think we need a news headline for it though. But again, the reason why I say that is because 945, right? Straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. And again, the initial push was down. Everyone's like, holy crap, sell. And then it goes back up and they get stopped out. And then that's where it continues its momentum. So we knew that this was a big level yesterday. So it kind of does make sense that it pushed through there. But as far as opening print goes, that would have been right here. There's nothing there. Unfortunately, this is the 930. Is there anything confirmed? Not with these wicks. Not until all the way down here. And even then, it would have been more kind of this, but this was from Sunday. We're not really using that's not the overnight. We're not really using Sunday night setups for that one, so not really a setup there either. What do we got here? Obviously this is not straight. I'm not sure why we drove it down, but not sure. I think that's where we talked about where yesterday would go to. It's probably what it was. Yeah, we said it was going to go there yesterday, so that's what it's bouncing off of. 515 and then nothing at flat line. Let's look at this. No confirmations. It pushed down and now it's higher than where it opened, even though it's red. I would say that this one kind of, again, I think overall, I can tell that this one's not straight. Um, mm, I mean, there's sellers there. Again, does this one turn? This is one of the most. I mean, NQ is a little bit worse. If this turns and rolls, am I going to be surprised? Not really. I mean, it is pushing. It's having problems. There are sellers sitting in there. From the top bottom, you can say that yes, it's a 23.6. So, there's probably some people that are short saying, "Hey, look, we're confirmed. That's 23.6. Sell this sucker." So yeah, there's probably people short this trade right now, right? Um, but as far as opening goes, I would have missed. It would have missed the entry on that one. So yeah, yeah. But there are people short. The old Russell. Yeah, so Russell just took off and went crazy. You could have actually drawn a zone here. Question is, did it hit? I'm gonna make sure that it's literally right on the top. There you go, top of the body. Did we hit it? No. Got close. Got close. Got close. Look at Russell. Boom. Russell going crazy. And, again, is it an opening print? No. No, not really. It was close to a zone, close to that 1800. And again, Russell just absolutely crushing it right now, right? It's funny. Our bank's about to bounce. That's what they're saying. That's the news article from when I got, is tech about to hire? So, but opening print, anything confirmed in the overnight? Nope. Nope. So, it looks like Tuesday, and again, kind of a flat day. Things are starting to move a little bit more now. Yen is up 54, 54. Aussie obviously retracing back again. Pound 26. And again, dollar strength, pound strength, 9 pips in 24 hours. I'm not getting a lot. Let's see, is it? This is going up. Is this still moving? Yeah, it's trying to find a bottom. Look, it's trying to find the bottom here. Right there. Question is, will that hold? Is a hard long because again, you have confirmed sellers up top. Again, I'm on a 15-minute. That's why it looks a little bit different, right? On a 15-minute, you're going to look at this area right here and say, "Oh, that's what we slammed into," right? And it's hard. Do we go long to push through? It's there, but again, there is basing right below, so there is buyers sitting here. So it's a decent trade. Overall, let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's still rallying, which is good. Trying to see if anything updated. Not so much. Natural gas. Look at this. Look at this. Natural gas trades lower. Send it, guys. Full send. Natural gas is lower. Explosion. Love those articles. Love it. Love it. Wait, what? All right. So yeah, natural gas rallying. Maybe we'll get up to that 231 today. So some issues. Yeah, maybe we're forming that base now in gold. And silver continuing to accelerate. So yeah, overall not bad. Again, dollar really trying to find its base here is going to be the big thing. Um, Again, NQ was trying, struggling a little bit. So I'm going to see this one. It's did tag it at 10. They're trying. I don't think we're there yet. We're really close though. God, look how close that got. We're really close. I don't know how cool would that be if we can pop these up and then all of a sudden, bam, the yen intervenes today and just blows this thing up. Yeah, we'll see. All right, 10:30. All right, let's go ahead and do our drawing for today. I will give this to 6:30. I always give those 30 seconds in. 9 more seconds. Ernest, I'm telling you, Ernest must have like a direct feed. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. He puts it right in there. Actually, the delay today is 5 seconds. So again, not too bad. 5 second delay. All right, here we go. Winner of today's draw, Debbie. Really, Debbie? Really? Really, Debbie? All right, winner of today's drawing is Really, Debbie? You were going for number three, right? You were going for 250 pip chips. You stole the two other ones cheaply, and then you let him take this one today? Really? If you would have won, I would have had to jump on with Neuro saying attacked. Come on, risk to reward. You risk 0 pip chips today to make 250. Yeah, it cost him a lot, but you could have bet the same thing. It would have cost you 40 pip chips, right? If you had done five, it would have cost you 40 pip chips, but you made 100 yesterday or 90 yesterday. You did 3 tickets yesterday, I think, right? I'm gonna mark this one as complete. Hold on 1 second. Let's go back to giveaways here. Yesterday, oh, it doesn't tell me how many you bought. It just removes you. Yeah, so you think you had one yesterday? Or was it this day? It doesn't tell me. I can't do it. You had three one day, right? Yeah, you were up by three, right? You did three, so you wasted 20 to make like 100. So you were up by 70 pips anyway. If you would have wasted 40 today, if you would have bought 50 pip chips to make it even, right? 50 pip chips, it would have cost you 40, cost him 40. You are already plus 30 on this deal, right? So it doesn't matter. You're still positive no matter what. But bam, you could have got 250. But you gave it to him cheap. I had Neuro, you got to send her the ebook. I'm telling you. So today was her day. I was like, oh, she's going to say it. It's about, I know Ernest is like, yeah, I got to stop them. Right. Hey, Ernest is, hey, I'm just telling you right now, we should thank Ernest. Ernest is trying to help you be a better person, right? You had the chance to take three, right? But you gave it to him easy. So I'll tell you right now, Neuro would never do that. If it was number three, Neuro would have dropped 100. He would have dropped 10. He would have dropped 100 if he could have, but yeah, he would have put 10 on that one. So come on, Debbie, that was your chance. Stick it to the boys. Sweep the week, right? Sweep the week, and then Morena picks it up, and then you like, get them frustrated. So, all right, with that, we're out of here. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. As I said, there's not a whole lot in here. We're kind of grasping for straws at this point for some release. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some headlines. That'll be great. Cat hasn't changed their overnight, but I'm kind of wondering now if this could potentially be a surprise as well, or if they're going to hold firm with their base. So again, look for these retracements. All the yen pairs are popping up in the same spot as well. So with that, I'm out of here. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good trading day today, and I'll see you then. Take care.